Hello and welcome to the Film Vomit Podcast, an extension of the Vomit series of podcast. Here today, we have the man who's afraid of having children in case they turn into little demons. It's Mac Taylor. Yes, I am here to discuss Demons 2. And with me today, as per always, is the man who is living in a house because apartment buildings are also overrun by demons. It's Cole Selby.
It is. I thought you were talking about me at first about the baby thing.
I mean, it both could be applicable. We both don't have kids.
Yeah, I don't want kids. Little demons.
For this reason.
Yeah. Jesus. If this movie is definitely gonna set that in for me.
So Cole, I want you to tell me a little bit about your expectations going in, because you watched the first Demons. What were your expectations for Demons 2, and were they met, or did something different happen?
My expectations, I think they were definitely met for the most part. Like you said, that it wasn't going to be a continuation, so I was like, okay. So, and they had my homeboy, my guy who played the pimp, what's his name? Something Rhodes.
It is Bobby Rhodes.
Bobby Rhodes,
the actor's name, but his character name in this is Hank.
Yeah, Hank. Yeah, he's back. I love that. He needs to stay.
Yeah, I wish he did more movies, because I really like that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I looked him up. He doesn't really have that much under his belt.
No, on IMDb, I mean, obviously they're Italian actors, so I can't read Italian, so I don't. Most of these movies probably aren't super widely available in the States, but his performance in both Demon movies, grade A.
Yeah, but yeah, for the most part, I think it was lesser than the first movie for me.
Yes, agreed.
But it still was good for the most part. I tell someone to watch it. I'd ask someone to watch it. Definitely a good expectations made for me. For this one.
I agree that this is a lesser film than the first one, but these are fun movies. You can throw them on, not really, shut your brain off, just have a good time with it.
Yeah.
So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump right in. I will say Demons 2 has a significantly less cool soundtrack.
It's still like 80s, just like a synth wave 80.
Exactly.
Like a hard rock 80.
And I'm more into the hard rock punk style that was in the first one as compared to this one. Yeah,
definitely. There's not enough dirtbags or katanas in this movie.
Exactly. There's not enough cocaine.
No, not enough cocaine.
There's not enough not enough good 80s stuff in here to drive it over the edge. But
honestly, if I didn't already know, I wouldn't have thought this was like strictly an 80s film.
But it is very Italian.
Yes,
very Italian horror. So we open to, and this is not a knock on the effects, this is literally what it is. We open to jam spilling on a knife.
Yep.
And we see that it is, which I thought was kind of a fun joke, because at first you think it's like fake blood, but really it's actual jam just like dripping off a counter. I was like, hey, look at you guys go.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was pretty funny. I liked that.
And also some of these pastries looked pretty tasty.
They looked awesome, actually. Yeah, like that shit looked good. I had to like pause there and get me a Hot Pocket. I was like, I was hungry.
And then we get like this voiceover recapping the first movie about like demons taking. It's like with that movie trailer voice where it's like, in a world where demons took over. Yeah. And I guess the first Demons was like a movie in this world. Very unclear.
I don't know if it actually happened or if it was a movie. I don't.
It's very unclear. And then we get another movie in a movie.
Yeah.
Which I was like, really? Again? Like in the movie theater, it made a little more sense.
Yeah.
But like this was a stretch. Like you didn't have to do the exact same thing you did in the first movie.
Yeah, like it just doesn't sit as well.
No, it's not as cool.
Well, this time it's like, the movie the movies within a movie thing, like actually like it's actually the reason now. It's not just like a back set dressing in a way, like it's not like a cool set.
Yeah, like it comes from it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like movie theaters have this ambiance that could add to it, whereas this one, it's just like on a TV. It's not as eerie. Like they try to, they
Yeah.
try to make it all snazzy with the presentation, but it doesn't have the same effect.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, everyone has a TV.
And so for reasons, these teens are just like fucking with this elevator, like getting it to change floors. And the guard's like, "This is a respectable building." I was like, what is that line? Who says that?
Like, I mean, good on him for getting them hooligans out from that elevator. Get out. Stop causing a ruckus.
Which, like, for these crazy teens, they're setting the bar low with just like messing with an elevator.
For real.
And then we meet, actually, I really do like these characters. We meet George and Hannah, who are, we get without like specifically stating, like through this like hints and subtleties, we find out their story, which they're college students who are now having a baby. So they, like he had to get a job while also going to school, and she's pregnant and also going to school. I really like these characters. Although, why is he named George when the character in the last movie was named George, but this isn't the same person?
I think they just couldn't think of any names.
They're like, George. That's all I got. The only guy name I can think of. Because it just felt strange. Like I was like, at one point, was this meant to be George from the last movie? And then they just changed the script but kept the name in? Or was it, like you said, just pure laziness?
Like,
because it was written by the same people.
I think that this movie is just like a conglomerate of like several movies. And I think this is just a byproduct of that.
I guess the writers really like the name George.
That too, yeah.
So and Hannah was in the last movie too. She was one of the horny teens making out in the back of the theater. That chick's name was Hannah.
Yeah.
So we recycled two names, but obviously they're different characters. It's very, very weird when you watch these back to back. Obviously, if you watch these apart, it wouldn't make any difference to you. But this actor and actress, they have really good chemistry together. I thought they really did play off each other very well.
Yeah, I liked both of them, especially when they were together.
Besides Bobby Rhodes, the best performances in both movies. Yes. But Bobby Rhodes is the king of these movies.
Every time Bobby Rhodes comes on, he got right down. It's like, my baby boy.
He's so good. Like, I want an action figure of him from this movie because his scenes in this movie don't make any fucking sense. Like, why they're there.
He could have totally been like an 80s action movie star.
Could have been. Should have been.
Yes, should have.
Like, man. Justice for Bobby Rhodes, man. Someone like if he's still alive, which I'm 99% sure he is, people need to cast him more. Okay.
Yeah.
Just have this old haggard Bobby Rhodes just show up in every action movie. I will fucking lose my mind.
It'd be some good shit.
Oh, and so we cut to Hank, played by Bobby Rhodes, who owns a gym and is just like, yes, keep pumping. How are you gonna get strong legs if you don't keep working it? Like,
he's like the greatest worst like motivational like coach.
Yeah, and like there's this guy who's working out like in every scene, but he's on the same machine. Like he's just doing the arm press thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, change machines. Like you're just gonna have massive arms and like no lower body. You're gonna be completely disproportionate.
That's what he wants. He just wants to be swole up top.
Yeah, and like obviously, in the 80s, like working out was more of like mainstream, as far as like, getting the big popcorn muscles.
Yeah.
But like it's funny because Bobby Rhodes, he's surrounded by like these scantily clad, sweaty dudes the whole movie.
Yeah.
He has like an army of like very sweaty, muscular dudes. It reminds me of that episode of Malcolm in the Middle where Hal gets the army of muscular dudes. It kind of reminds me of that. It's very like I couldn't stop laughing every scene.
They were really sweaty too, all of them.
Even Bobby Rhodes, like everyone in that gym and then in the scene in the garage is just like they were spritzed in between scenes to make sure they were sweating.
Every time, for every second they're on screen, it's just glistening.
Yeah. Which also makes it very 80s.
Yes.
Everyone's just glistening. Like great time. Then we cut to a bunch of rich white teens at a birthday party.
Yep.
This is so cringy to watch because they're terrible dancers.
Yeah.
And we meet Sally, who's the birthday girl, and
Yeah.
she's upset because she can't find anything to wear.
Oh, but she's like more than upset. She's like straight bitch mode.
She's
Like,
having a mental breakdown.
Yeah, like I wrote down, it's like I already hate Sally.
Which, you know, you won't have to
Already
deal
hate
with her for long, or at least this
No.
version of her.
Yeah.
But yeah, like most kind of like bitchy rich girls would have more of like an attitude, but she's having like a full on like breakdown. Like
Yeah.
right when we meet her, there's no build up.
Like, I don't know if that was like that's how they wanted her to act. Like,
I
just
don't know.
completely over the top.
It's because I couldn't find anything else on this actress, but like it was a choice just to make her just like complete bitch mode like the whole time.
Wasn't like, goddamn.
So then we get the movie within a movie, which is like four
Yeah.
investigators like stupidly looking for demons. Like after the events of the first movie, they're just like walking around the rubble, like being completely like reckless.
Like, why are you gonna go to where demons like are known to be at? Like, and they killed like basically, I think they killed everyone there. Like, everyone's dead.
And they're just like, oh, this must be demons. Like it's like the last time where you pointed out the dialogue is just shit. People are saying. It's like they're like, oh, this must be from the demons, a real demon. And I'm like, God damn it, can you just talk like a normal person?
Like this. They're trying to write too many movies at once.
That's true. Because technically these two movies are actually four movies.
Yeah.
And two of those movies are shit. Like two of those movies look like something that Full Moon Pictures would make. And the other two are actually good, fun movies. So then we meet the other characters that are going to be there, even though most of them don't have names. And I actually like looked at IMDb and they actually don't have names. Like they didn't even give them any names in this
That's
movie.
great. That's great.
So we have a guy and a prostitute who are going to bone. We have Ingrid and her parents. And Ingrid is actually played by writer Dario Argento's daughter, Asia Argento.
Yeah.
And she actually has had a decent career in horror. Argento always puts her in his stuff, but like even beyond his movies, she's had like in Italy, she's very, very well known. But here she was in the 2005 Land of the Dead movie. That's where some people and the American audience might know her from. She usually plays some sort of scantily clad badass in her later, but this was child her in her one of her first movies. And then we see a woman and her very cute pupper.
Yes.
I love the dog in this movie.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it later, but this dog was just having a blasty blast.
Yeah. I don't know why they do the jump scare with the dog.
Yeah, very weird. And also, I was like, why did you let your dog just wander around the apartment? Like, if you let your dog out in an apartment complex, you go with it outside, pick up its business, and then take it back inside. You don't just like open the door and let it. This isn't a house. You don't have a backyard. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. And like keep your dog inside. Keep your dog inside.
Yeah. Don't leave your pupper unsupervised. It's a dangerous world out there. This pupper needs attention. As a dog owner who has lived in apartment complexes, I was very concerned.
Yeah. For real.
And then we see a little boy who's like all alone, and he answers the phone and he's like, nope, my mom's not here. Nope, my dad's not here. I'm all alone. Goodbye. And I'm like, you never tell someone over the phone that you're home alone. Like, that's like this kid, if not for the demons, was probably going to get kidnapped. Like
I don't know why they had to have this phone call.
It has zero semblance of the plot.
And it was so awkward.
How else would you know the boy is alone? I don't know that he's sitting in the fucking house by himself the entire movie.
Like we cut to his parents later.
We didn't need that. That was a very contrived line.
Like him staying up late watching a movie, it should be evidence enough that this kid is home alone because
Yeah, he's watching a
has to
horror
spend
film.
time.
Like clearly,
Yeah.
there's no supervision around. Yeah, so it's just I'm just like, yeah, kid, you'd never do this. Like, was this line so that we would think this kid's an idiot? Like,
Jesus. That's why I got out of it.
Exactly. And then we get more of the George and Hannah, like, basically like there's this party with their friends happening with Sally, which they're glad they weren't there. But they have to like study for exams and get ready for work. And, it's hard being a young parents and going to school and all that business. They're doing the work.
Yeah. And can I just say that a party that loud probably wouldn't actually go down very well in an apartment building.
Yeah, like that's a lot of noise.
It's a lot of noise.
Because like their music is just unnecessarily loud.
Yeah.
That it's reaching other apartment complexes. Like,
it's pretty rough.
If not for the demons, the cops would have been called. Also, like in the movie, they're like, it's a demon claw. This is how they spread the demon virus. And I'm like, why are you touching it with your bare fucking hands? Like, be careful.
Like he obviously knew that.
And
picked it up.
He's just like twirling it around and shit. Then he puts it in a very thin plastic bag, like as though that's gonna like not tear open at some point. I'm like, you fucking idiots.
What are gloves?
Well, yeah, if you're investigative reporters, like you should be way more prepared than a Ziploc bag.
Yeah. Also, how long in the future is this from the last movie? It has to only be a couple years, right?
Never really says.
Like, I need to know this timeline.
And I don't know if those events happened or if this is just a movie, and also why does it happen? Again, if you think about it too much, there's way too many unanswered questions.
It's a documentary. They're filming a documentary of the demons from the last movie.
We just need something to get the demon in the actual world. That's all we need. We don't. It doesn't need to make sense. So this nerdy guy at Sally's party answers the phone because she's right there and she doesn't answer her own phone.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, sure, whatever, come over. And then he's like, oh, Jacob's coming over. And she's like, how dare you invite Jacob over? Go outside. And then she goes in her room and watches a movie instead of hanging out with her friends at the party at her house.
Like she tries to like stop the party over like one dude. I'm like, don't be lame.
Well, I'm
don't
like, one, if you had someone you wanted to keep from coming, answer your damn phone.
Yeah.
Two, if this guy didn't know, like he's like, what happened with her and Jacob? And they're like, oh, well, you don't need to know. And it's like, well,
none of
you can't get mad at him for not knowing information you didn't tell him.
Do we even find? I don't even think we even find out.
No, we don't know what Jacob did to her, but we can kind of guess because he looks like an asshole. So he probably cheated on her. But either way, it's like this poor dude is like put on blast because he had no idea because he's not a mind reader.
Yeah.
But it is good because he does survive this movie because he has to wait outside.
Yeah, he waits outside the whole movie.
Yep. But you know what? I'm glad because he didn't deserve to die because he had to deal with people's bullshit.
Yeah, he was doing the best he could at a party. Come on, guys.
Like
Jesus.
He even waited for you to answer the phone. You didn't, so he answered your phone and thought you would want more people at your party because this is what kids do. He didn't know your fucking drama with your ex-boyfriend. How would he know that?
Apparently fucking other people knew except him.
Yeah, okay, well then have those people answer the phone. Like
point is she's stopping a party. She's stopping
and then she just goes and watches a movie in her room. Yeah. I was like, what a terrible friend.
The same movie literally everyone is watching.
Yeah, apparently there's only one channel on these televisions.
Yeah. Wow.
And then the girl in the movie cuts herself and doesn't tend to her cut. And again, you know what goes on in this place. And also, when you cut your hand, you're like just naturally you take care of that. You don't just like let it bleed and walk around. Like that's not what people do. It doesn't make any sense.
Everyone would like you stop. Like everyone's gonna do something to stop it or to help in some significant way. Not just gonna let it dangle. It's like, oh, it's fine. I'm just gonna bleed on everything, no matter. Like it doesn't matter. You know, it could slap some on you.
And then a guy turns on the movie soundtrack for a jump scare.
Yeah.
Followed by another jump scare because she looks in the mirror and sees herself as a
Yeah.
demon for a second, which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, we get back-to-back jump scare.
Yeah.
Like,
it's
kind of.
Then they find a demon's corpse.
Mm.
It's laying there dead. And she decides to just put her open ass wound right over it to take a picture. And I'm like, what? Like, you guys know the lore. It's not like you're just wandering around a place. Like, you know what goes on here. And you're making all these fucking terrible decisions.
Like they're acting like they fucking studied these things, and then they come into like, what? Like all this is
completely reckless. No fucks given.
God damn.
Horrible.
Like I understand, you know, horror movie people are like, you know, usually dumb, like more dumb, but this is like a next level of dumb.
Exactly.
Like,
and then
come on.
The flash on the camera doesn't work in the movie and also doesn't work at the party. So it's like, it's happening, which that's a lot less of a creepy reveal than the cut face in the first movie. Yeah. Like, the flashes don't work like in the movie, but it's like,
So like, is this like movie that everyone's watching supposed to be like connected to everyone, like to everyone else's I'm still trying to figure out.
There's no answers.
How this works.
We don't know. I don't think Argento knew. I think he was just like, we need to get it rolling. So just yada, 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 bleed over the thing. And okay. Like, I think he had an idea of like demons in an apartment complex and didn't really know how to get it there logically. So he just kind of like skipped over some shit.
Yeah.
Jesus. So that doesn't work. The demon regenerates, which is actually a fun effect because they melted a wax head and just played the footage in reverse. So you see it like slowly like regenerate.
Yeah, I liked the effect and stuff. Yeah, and like the fun. Veins popping was like, I think that's like a stop motion effect.
Yeah, it looked like stop motion, but it was cool.
Yeah, it was really good. I like that.
Enjoyed that. It's always fun to see things that are, you know, really there.
Mm-hmm.
So then the demon kills the movie teens and then comes through the damn TV.
Yep.
Which was accomplished by the actor wearing a mask and pushing his face through like latex. Kind of like in the original Nightmare on Elm Street, how Freddy's face comes through the wall. Mm-hmm. Kind of like that. Fun effect. Also nice to know it's physically there because CGI looks pretty shitty when you try to do it that way.
Yeah, I mean, it was looking kind of bad, like when it was just like the picture on the TV.
That was bad. But like when it actually like leaned in a little bit more, it was fine.
Yeah, that was good.
For the time period, this was fine. But Sally is way too chill about this.
Yeah, she doesn't do any like. I think she's like kind of turned on by the movie a little bit, like the way she like looks at it. Like she's like.
But then she's like, "Did I imagine that?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? Like you just fucking saw that a second ago. Why are you not freaking out?" And then she just goes, "Oh well," then turns around and then there's the demon who then attacks her. But it's like, what is wrong with you? Like, have a sense of danger.
And like, how does her like door get locked? How does it?
Because in the first movie, you know, like the doors of the theater locked or whatever. There's a lot of that in this movie where like as soon as the demon shit happens, like every exit is blocked.
Oh my gosh.
Because the same happens with the party goers. The door locks itself. So. That at least that's consistent throughout both films. Still doesn't make sense of why, because it's never explained why that happens, but it happens consistently. So then Sally wanders out and they're getting ready to blow out her candles, which she does, and then turns into a demon and attacks all of the party goers.
Which honestly, they had it coming. Like they didn't even notice she was gone. Like half the party. Like this is supposed to be hers. It's supposed to be her party.
I mean, at that point, fuck her. She went in there. Yeah. She was pissy, went in on her own accord. We're not gonna stop the party.
Jesus.
So yeah, then it was kind of cool though. She grabs the guy's arm and then her nails come through and then into his arm. That was a cool scene. But the gore is a lot less in this movie. The first movie really had a lot of like visceral gore. This one has more slime, like more slimy stuff than blood. because I from what I read, they were trying to go for like a better rating, like whatever the Italian version of a PG-13 is. I think it's what they were trying to go for. Is they were trying to cut down on a little bit. And I actually would have preferred if they upped the violence factor a little more because, it's a sequel. And Sally's going to be the main demon, kind of like Rosemary was in the original Demons movie. Yeah. And again, hard to be the first demon. You really have to carry a lot of the physical acting. And she does a good job.
She does. I really liked it.
I like this version better than the damn... I like this version better than her actual life self.
Yeah, I like the makeup and the fucking latex, whatever shit they put on.
Look, the demon effects always look pretty good.
It's always really nice.
Oh, and then when her teeth start coming out, we do see it's a dummy head, which again hasn't aged all that well, but still better than I'll take it over CG any day. Attacks all party goers. Then we cut to her parents. Her dad's just like mad about being at this festival, which looks like a lot of fun. It looks like an Oktoberfest kind of thing. I'm like, it does. Why are you mad about being here?
There's like always like a common theme whenever her parents are on screen. The camera,
which is only twice.
Like the camera vibrates.
Yeah, this happens anytime they go like outside. It's like it's almost like I don't know if it was when they were restoring the footage, if that messed up, or if it's actually just how it was shot, where it goes out of focus and gets a little shaky. But maybe they were running like low, like the film stock was running low, and it was kind of rough. I'm not sure. I couldn't find any information on it, but I don't know if it was the transfer when they were getting it over to DVD and Blu-ray and all that, or if it was just something went wrong during the shoot. Either way, that footage, it's like right when they cut to outside, it takes it a second to kind of go in.
Yeah, it's really odd how it just kind of
jarring, especially when you're watching it nowadays. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something I did notice too, but I couldn't find any reason for it. I tried, but at least not immediately. Maybe down the road we'll figure out what happened there. My life's journey is going to be to find out what happened with that footage from Demons 2. So then Hannah sends George to get cake because she's pregnant, and that's just George does the work here. Okay, he's not a deadbeat dad.
And I guess she also doesn't want their baby born with a birthmark. And I guess
I don't know what that line meant. I don't know what that was about.
I think that's like her, like if she satisfies her cravings, then the baby won't get a birthmark.
I don't know how that works. Childbirth, it's a lot.
I don't know.
So then Sally and the other demons bleed into the floor for reasons, and the blood is like acid. Yeah. This wasn't in the first movie, so this was weird.
They just conjure up this acid blood too.
Yeah, and it's just like seeping through. It's the only way to spread it while they're stuck in that apartment, I guess. Very strange adding that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
It's not like they don't burst out of the apartment later anyway.
Yeah, but I guess this is a way to have people turn into demons without actually getting attacked by demons, because we have like a dog and a kid later, so they didn't really want to show them being like attacked, so they just turned them that way. Still, no, I don't hate it, but I'm not a big fan of that detail. It is what it is.
Yeah,
but it is kind of like the main thing in this movie.
Yeah.
So the guy who had sex with the hooker sees blood dripping from his ceiling and burns his fingers touching it. Which again, if you see a strange thing coming from his ceiling, don't fucking touch it.
Why would you touch some weird shit coming out of your ceiling?
And then this, there's this chick tanning in a tanning bed, and I don't know if that was like how old school tanning beds were designed, but it works like a fucking George Foreman grill. Like the demon just like presses her like a sandwich. And I was like, that just seems like a danger you would have without the demon thing. Like this tanning bed's a death trap.
Jesus.
Then there's a guy in a sauna, which is like one of those like full body kind of deals. and he gets dripped on with the blood, and then later he's ripped out of it. So like I guess he's a demon now.
Yeah, that's what I got from it. Like
And we never see
changed,
him as a
ripped
demon
out.
later. So it's
No.
just he's there. At least I don't think we see him as a demon. There's a lot of demons, so it's kind of hard to keep track, especially when I don't know who the fuck this guy is. So yeah, you know, it is what it is. So then the hooker and George end up in an elevator. And at first I was like, are they going to try to write that like he's going to cheat on Hannah? No, George is a solid dude. But they get stuck in the elevator because the acid blood cut the power to the building. And a lot of people spend time like, oh, they're wandering around hallways like, what's going on with the power? But yeah, they're stuck in an elevator, and this chick immediately loses her shit. Like she gets claustrophobic like that. Like it was like a light switch.
Yeah, like I would not want to be stuck in an elevator with her.
But I felt bad for George. I'm like,
yeah,
he had to go. He just got home from work. He had to go get cake for his wife or her girlfriend or whatever, and now he's stuck in an elevator with this like very irate hooker.
God.
Not ideal of how he thought his night was going to go.
Probably not.
We get like really weird
like the cutaways are really weird.
Yeah, there's a lot of cuts, but we get Hank and the others hit the showers while that one guy's still on the damn arm machine.
Yeah.
I'm like, God damn it, dude. Like, leave it alone. But yeah, they all go to hit the showers. And then the chick with the dog doesn't have a name. She's credited as girl with dog.
Wow.
Talks about the AC, everything's not working because the power is out, and that the windows are bulletproof, so you can't just like smash the windows. I'm like, okay, that line is only in there to explain why they can't exit, but I appreciate that they took time to say it.
Yeah.
So yeah, she says that line just to make sure that the audience knows what's up, and then her dog comes and is turned into a demon, and the teeth come through, and the snout extends out and has like green eyes.
Yeah.
And it's funny because like in a close-up, when it looks like super vicious, it's like clearly a puppet.
Yeah.
But like in the wide shots, it's just the dog with like a little prosthetic on his nose. And he just looks so friendly. Like the dog's like growling and snarling. Then it cuts to like him. It's supposed to be him charging her, but he's like trotting.
Yeah.
And he looks so happy. I was just like, that is adorable. I love that. But the dog eats her, which is fucking, it was interesting to see a demon dog. And it's also just nice to know that the puppy on set was cool. It was chill. What kind of dog is this though? Do you know?
I don't know.
I was like, I'm not super proficient on dog breeds, but this little guy was adorable. Mm-hmm. Especially with the little fucking demon prosthetic. He's just wandering around with it on. It was cool.
Yeah. The transformation was pretty cool to watch too.
The effects are always pretty decent in these. But and like it looked cool. It's just it was like one or two wide shots where you could tell it's just a normal dog with the little prosthetic on. But like the close-ups with the puppet, it looked pretty nasty.
Yeah. And also as soon as the dog had pretty exaggerated sounds already, but when it started changing, it changed to big cat noises.
Yeah, it sounded like a jaguar.
Yeah, jaguar.
Like, what the fuck is that?
You couldn't just use like other like big canine sounds.
Could have used it's strange. It was very strange. Because like there are dogs barks and growls that sound intimidating.
Yeah,
you didn't need to add like cougar noises.
It was just so like jarring. Like, what is this?
And then back at the elevator, George manages to crack it open just a little bit, and they see everyone running, and then the demons invading, and they're like, "Oh shit! Well, we're not going out this way."
And then he kind of freaks out. He's like, "Oh, Hannah's home alone."
Yeah. Oh, Hannah. He's a good actor, but like that could have used another take.
Yeah. And I liked it too because when he was messing with the elevator doors before they cut away, I saw him like push it in a little bit, like it put.
He's like, "Oh, too far."
Like, quick, cut! Can't let them know.
can't let anybody in here. We gotta have the slight crack. Didn't know his own strength when he went to do that. And then so the guy in the arm machines, whose name I think was Beulah, is killed by the demons. He's just kind of like pushed into the machine, kind of crushed up a little bit.
Yeah.
No real gore there. But then Hank and the other workout crew people just take weights and just start beating the fuck out of these demons.
I love that. They start like, just chuck the dumbbell, beat the shit out of with the bar.
he
Like,
just
God.
tosses the bar at him.
Like,
And then there's this big metal like gate that's closed that they can't get through. And they decide to just beat it with some weights. Like they're throwing weights, they're bouncing off. And then Hank goes, stand back. And he throws a potted plant at it. Like that's going to do it. And he makes everybody move. He's like, stand back. Plant.
He makes everyone stand back a few times.
Yeah. But mostly for the play. They got one guy's throwing weights and they're bouncing off and no one moved. Yeah. But everybody be very careful around the potted plant.
Yeah.
That was, I was dying laughing.
Whenever Hank's here, you know shit's gonna get done.
Exactly.
At least they're gonna try.
And just like the first movie, Bobby Rhodes takes charge because he is the pseudo leader in any situation. So they're gonna head to the garage while the nerdy guy's still waiting for Jacob.
I love how they just cut to him.
Him just standing out there.
Him just like looking around like.
He was out there for like a couple hours.
He was, like, but all this shit's going down. He's just out there waiting on Jacob.
He's dedicated because he could have just came back upstairs and said he didn't come, but no, he fucking waited that whole time.
If I was him, I would have just like left and went home.
I'm like, well, I'm gonna go catch some TV. This is bullshit.
Like you should have seen the power go out. It's like, fuck
didn't care.
Like party's over.
They sent him to wait. He's gonna wait. So in the garage, Hank has them put a car in front of the door, take all the seats out of the cars and pile those up because he had a plan in the first movie.
Yep, yeah.
They're gonna work here.
Gotta use seats.
Always gotta have those seats.
And
And the garage door, they're trying to like beat it down, but clearly that's not gonna work. And like one of the muscular guys gets a fire extinguisher, and he's like, because they're gonna set a fire to the seats and then have to put it out eventually because they don't want to suffocate in this garage. Yeah. And the guy's like, how do I use it? He's like, read the instructions. And he's like trying to read it. He's like, you're all muscle and no brain. Like Bobby Rhodes ain't having none of your shit.
Oh no.
And then they also try to like ram a car through it, and the car just like completely breaks. And these are 80s cars. Okay. Yeah. These are solid vehicles. So if they can't break through it is a very thick door. But also they really don't want to actually break through the door because they don't want to pay for it. So they're like, everybody just put a lot of effort, but don't actually hit it all that hard because we don't want to test our limits here. So yeah, they set fire to the car seats. And then we cut to the kid who's like got his toy gun, and he's like roaming around. I'm like, kid, go, what are you fucking doing? Don't leave your apartment. And he goes and wanders around. We see that 2 of the party goers survived somehow. Don't know how they weren't mauled by the army of demons that was in that building.
Like I would guess that they were like playing some weird party game and they had to go in the closet, but that was never
even really though like they're just alive. There's no reason.
They just needed to be here for later.
And then the kid is stalked by Sally. Yeah. And then while he's in the vent hiding, he gets blood dripped on him. So, oh no, this kid's gonna turn into a demon.
And can we just say about how stupid this kid is? Because he's like running away, and I not once saw him try to use a doorknob.
Nope, he gets into a fucking vent.
He slams on doors. Don't try the doorknob though. That it might be open.
Or also just haul ass back to your apartment.
Yeah.
That's open.
Like, why did... I'm just going to keep asking why.
This kid had no survival instincts. This kid was going to die regardless. Yeah.
Jesus.
And then Sally murders the guard by the elevator. So they see this dead guard's face is right in front of the fucking door. Yeah. And then the demons in the garage just fucking stunt jump over the fire. All of them just perfect, like a circus act.
Yeah. Like at first they're scared of the fire, but there's like the acrobat.
Like, oh, wait, demon. We can jump. And then they just fucking hop over it. Crazy. And As soon as they do, though, Bobby Rhodes ain't taking that shit.
Oh no.
Fucking axes, weights, they beat the fuck out of these demons.
They do.
And he gets a shotgun, and that's his main weapon. He's gonna, because apparently these demons can die if they're shot, so he takes them all out. Unlike the police officer from the first movie, Bobby Rhodes don't miss his damn shot.
Yeah.
So they put out the fire and regroup. And then the other tenants make their way into the garage, and Bobby Rhodes is like, all right, we're going to take the cars and make a barricade. Then grab anything you can use as weapons. You go weights, crowbars, chains, take bottles, put gasoline in them, make bombs. And I was like, damn, like you're fucking prepared for this shit.
He's ready. He is a natural leader, and I love him for it.
Yeah, because he did the same thing he did in the first movie where he gets on top of something and it's like, this is what we're going to do. And nobody questions it. Not one person. They're like, yes, agreed.
Well, no one else has their shit together, but Hank here.
Everyone else is a mess, but not Bobby Rhodes. He's a fucking hero.
I guess like him and George. I guess George kind of has his shit together a little bit.
Yeah, but they never meet up. So
no. Sadly, they'd be a dream team.
Exactly.
It'd be like a Lethal Weapon.
George has the power of first movie George. So, who had the power of Ken, who had the power of the pimp. So, George is very strong.
God.
So the demon guard comes back to life and attacks the hooker. And then we cut to Jacob and these punks that are just, they've been driving around the whole movie reckless.
Yeah.
And he's like, I've never had an accident. And then we see he wrecks into the boys' parents who are trying to get home.
Yeah.
And the nerdy guy goes to tend to them. And that's it. We don't see him the rest of the fucking movie.
Which the mother had a great line on the car. He said, "Our son might be in danger. Don't think about the police." It's like, did you just like hear what you just said?
Yeah, fuck the police.
Like, I'm gonna help my son who's in danger. I'm not gonna call the people who are supposed to help people in danger. I'm gonna help my son who's in danger, and not some stranger police officer whose civic duty is to protect people from danger.
But also, what is with Argento with putting a car full of punks that have nothing to do with the movie in the movie? But these punks don't die. They just get in a car accident. This is like some weird PSA where it's you had the scenario of like, we got to get home to our son. And like, I've never had an accident. And then they crash. And it's like, this could happen to you.
It really is just oh no. That's really just all it is. Yeah.
Everyone's all bloodied. And the nerdy guy's like, oh my God, are you guys okay? And then we cut out and we fucking none of it. It was like
an ambulance shows right up to like snappy.
It was around the corner.
To go. It's like, oh shit, I just saw a car crash. Like convenient we're here.
So what was that business about fuck the police? But yeah, it was just like some random PSA. It had nothing to do with the movie.
Yeah.
So Hannah is then tricked because there's the kid outside's like, I'm scared and alone, let me in. And she which luckily, she did keep the door locked, the chain locked. So good on her.
Yeah.
But she opened it and fucking Demon Boy comes in, who's now played by a little person because they don't want to, kids can't do stunts.
Yeah. Which I guess can demons just talk normally? Like before,
they've never been able to use other people's voices before, but and it's not even like an actual boy's voice. It's like someone pretending to be a child.
Yeah,
like Land Shark, UNICEF, man. But yeah, so which the effects on the demon kid is actually pretty good.
I do like it.
But he's like trying to like finesse his way in the door, and she's like holding it off for a while, but eventually she like goes over the couch, but like stays on the couch. And clearly you see the door shut. Like, yeah, he's in the house now. Like, fucking move. Takes her a second to get into it. Her instincts do kick in, unlike most of the characters in this movie. But like it takes a second. Like there's a little bit of like oh shit, right, he's in the house.
Yeah.
So yeah, he chases her all over the apartment and then falls down, and a little demon comes out of his chest, kind of like the chick in the first movie, but an actual like baby demon.
Yeah, this like I guess this like why does this happen?
I don't know.
Like,
And the baby demon makes this very shrill
oh
scream sound,
god,
and it's
I hate
very grating.
it's just a screeching re kid if he was a demon.
Yep,
Like
and it's
what
just
the
like
fuck?
it hurts the
Really,
ears.
really good puppet though.
Yes, very good work, and
Really
they
good.
they keep the lighting to where it's like it's lit. It's not a fucking DC movie. It's lit,
Yeah.
but it's hidden enough. Like the puppet, because obviously if this thing was like all the lights were on, you would see like how the puppet was fake. But because it's like got the blue light, the strobe, and everything going, it's lit well, and it adds to the effect. So very very masterfully done here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, great looking puppet. I'm glad it's here. It just doesn't make any fucking sense. Then Ingrid's mom in the garage turns, and Bobby Rhodes ain't taking none of that shit. He ain't gonna wait for her to be a demon. He moves everybody out of the way and shoots her in the goddamn face.
Just blat blat.
Because she's like, help me. And they're like, oh no, my mom. And he's like, get out of the way.
It's like, I'm gonna help you, bitch. Well, blam. Done.
Fucking love this character.
Yeah, he knows what to do. He knows.
Yeah. Yeah. He's willing to do the work no one else is willing to do. So you know what? Good on them.
If there were more Bobby Rhodes,
there'd be a lot more survivors in this movie.
There would be just hardly any problems. It'd all be fixed. Then
Hannah just fucking tosses a towel over the demon, and it like gets stuck for a second. I thought that was hilarious. She's just like, yeah, take that.
It's like screeching. It's like, ah, God.
And it's like eating its way through the towel. And I'm like, that's awesome. It's one weakness.
Towels.
Then she goes and hides in the closet like Jamie Lee Curtis on Halloween. I'm like, what are you doing? So it obviously gets in the closet because it's like one of those like thin. It's not like an actual door. And then she fucking closes it in like one of those like pop-up ironing boards.
Mm-hmm.
Pops it up in there, and then it starts chewing its way through because this thing is persistent.
Yeah.
Then she burns it with chemicals. So you know what? She's doing a good job. She's trying.
What? Like, why does she have like this deadly acid?
That was my next point. Like, what was that, and why does she have it? She has like an actual table of chemicals.
Yeah, like the bottle itself is even like it has like this like the skull.
Well, she did say they're taking some sort of chemistry college class.
Yeah.
Maybe she's like a science major. Maybe this is part of her schoolwork.
Yeah, I feel like I wouldn't have that around me if I was
a pregnant woman.
Pregnant woman,
not great, but. And again, that's probably even not the explanation, but like let's just try. I'm not going to give him credit, but like we'll do our work here. So George heads out of the elevator, and the hooker turns into a demon, and he fucking just kicks her off the rope, just like
which is just a second demon that can talk in a human voice, I guess, too.
Well, she was turning. They can do that when they turn. I'll accept this one. The other one I won't, but this one I will. Because when they just show the shot of someone's like legs and not their actual face, you're like, they're a demon. Like, come on, go ahead, reveal it. Yeah, he has none of her shit. Just kicks her right off the rope.
Yeah, which is great.
Then he finally gets out of the elevator, and then she pops back up, and he's like, God damn it, because either he's gonna get crushed by the elevator or have to deal with this fucking demon. But he gets both. He gets out right in time. Fucking knocks the demon back down, throws the grate at her because he's so pissed. I mean, this is George's bad day. You could have called this Demons 2, George has a bad day. Because it's like one thing after the other for this guy.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, the demons then attack the garage.
We get a really cool like stairs shot. Too,
of them coming down the spiral staircase.
Down to the garage. I thought that was pretty cool.
And they kill everyone, including Hank, who gets killed by basically getting his dick grabbed.
Yeah, that what a why do you gotta do my man like that?
He's so powerful, only his dick can take him out.
Yeah. Which like all these they went so hard on like prepping, and then it's like as soon as the demons show up,
they did fight. They fought. These people didn't go down easy.
Yeah,
except for the three girls in a car. But everybody else fought their asses off.
Yeah, but it was still like a.
And then Ingrid's trapped in the car, and they surround the car, and then just leave her there. Not really sure why that happened.
I think. You know what?
I don't know. Actually,
I was like, "There's not really a great explanation for that."
No,
but whatever. They didn't want to. They didn't want to kill Argento's daughter.
Yeah, maybe we're supposed to believe that she died and like they didn't want to like kill her on screen.
Yeah, it's very, very vague with her. And then George arrives and stabs that fucking little demon through the face into a wall with an umbrella. I was like, God damn.
That was a pretty like brutal kill. Like comes out of his mouth on the other side of the wall.
That was fun.
Cool.
And then he gets this roof climbing equipment.
Yeah.
And they find the two party survivors from earlier. And then George makes a gas explosion to slow down the demons, which that should have made a much bigger explosion. Like that probably should have blew the building up.
Yeah.
But it just causes like a poof. It was like a fireball that just kind of thwarts off the demons for a minute. Then the boy turns because we knew that was going to happen. Like, and then George just fucking beats his ass and then fucking tosses him down the stairs, like falls, like it's clearly a dummy falling, but like fucking hits its head on the bottom and dies. Like, he had none of that shit.
You can't have any hesitation or they're going to get you.
Then they get to the roof. And then the girl turns and he just fucking yeets her off the building. No struggle. Just like, get out of here, you fucking demons.
Jesus.
I laughed my ass off.
It's like Hank transferred his energy when he died to George.
That like, big dick energy from Hank.
Just like it happened in the last movie.
Exactly. Strength just to yeet this bitch off his building. Then Sally just starts charging him. So they start like going down the free climb, and then Sally somehow like gets herself like a stunt performer in a circus with the ribbons, just like spins herself down, and then he just stabs her with a pole as soon as she hits the ground. He's like, I'm not dealing with your shit, demons.
Like he's 3 for 3 right now, not dealing with anyone's shit.
Fucking over it. I worked all day. I had to fucking deal with loud party music. I was in an elevator with a very erratic hooker. None. I'm over it.
This really is just fucking demons, George's bad day.
Yeah, the demons will show their fucking face up here. We'll fucking get you too. Which I get it. I would be very pissed at this point too.
Yeah. I mean, everything's been going just bad. Everything's gone wrong. He's like, I was just going to get some fucking ice cream. What the fuck?
Yeah, we just want a cake. All we want is cake. We can't have nice things. So they find a random TV studio next door. And it's lit like it's supposed to be like foreign, but like it's a TV studio. Like, at first it looked like a theater, like the way they showed the audience seats. And I was like, no, don't go into theater. That's where this all started. And, then there's a random mattress on the floor so they can deliver their baby. I'm like, why was that on the floor? Why was that there?
Is this like a porno set, dude?
Yeah, I don't know. Why would there be a live studio audience at a porno taping? Everyone applause for Backdoor Sluts 9. Here's Shatrice.
What an amazing shot from Big Dick Jerry.
Exactly. Like, I don't know why this was there. But there's a mattress there. They deliver the baby. And then a blinded Sally stumbles in just to die on the floor.
Yeah.
Just for a jump scare, I guess. Then she appears on the TV coming at them, which is the same shot they used on the roof.
Mm-hmm.
And then George just breaks all the screens. He's like, nope, not dealing with this shit. Yeah. I'm done with it.
He doesn't even break all the screens.
No, but once he breaks the first one, the image stops because it's all connected to one board. So it's like as soon as he breaks that first one, it's like a still image on all the fucking screens. It's interesting. As George breaks him, and then that's it. That's the fucking movie. George is done. He's like, we're done here. Go to the credits.
They leave the fucking the studio with the spotlights are following them the whole time.
Yep. But and they have a baby now. But yeah, he's like, fucking done with this. No more demons. Cut to the credits. There's no third movie. We're done. I'm done here.
They even end it in like a freeze frame, then fade out like some fucking
like you think something's gonna happen,
action movie,
but it doesn't.
Yeah.
Because this movie had like 3 endings. Like fucking the Sally just kept coming back randomly for no reason. So Cole, the last one had a budget of about 1.8 million. You want to guess what the budget of this one
was? I'd say like out of 1.3.
1.5, very close.
Ooh.
And the last one pulled in about like $1 billion international.
Yeah.
This one did the exact same.
Wow.
So same return rate.
I mean, I guess
that's international. It's all the countries. In Italy, though, it still did very well.
Yeah.
Because it was the first one was popular, so of course the sequel will be very popular too. So really the only known actress is Ingrid, played by Asia Argento, who people may know from Triple X and Land of the Dead.
Yep.
This the original ending was meant to have the baby be a demon and claw its way out of Hannah. That was going to be the ending. But Bava said that he wanted a happier ending that would probably resonate better with audiences. So they changed it through the shoot. That's why the ending feels very strange and contrived because that was not the intended ending. So I think they sacrifice a lot of flow for that, but I understand what they were going for because the general audience would like a more happy ending as compared to like a jump scare kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like this was probably better for them with the critics, but and maybe even financially, but I'm curious as to what that ending would look like, and if that would be something I would like better. I don't know.
I mean, I think it would be cool if they filmed it and like for us to be able to see if we wanted to, like theaters shows a happy ending, but if you buy a DVD, you get this fucking, this alternate ending where like, this is what we wanted to show. It's like, here you go.
Yeah. I don't think they shot it. I think they, it would have been cool if they did, but this is, this is the 80s. This is pre DVD. It's pre bonus features, behind the scenes wasn't as big of a thing. The movie world was still like, curtain closed kind of deal. So, I can't fault them for not thinking that, but like nowadays that would totally be a thing.
Yeah.
And there was talk of doing a third movie where there would be people on an airplane who have to do an emergency landing at a volcano and then demons come.
I'm glad they didn't do that. That
was scrapped. There is a movie that's considered to be Demons 3, but it's called The Ogre, and it has like nothing to do with the first 2 movies. So that happens a lot in Italy, where they just kind of like namesake call something a sequel, and then it's not. So that's why we're not doing that, because it literally has nothing to do with the fucking first 2 movies. Yeah. So Cole, give me your final thoughts and maybe give them a rating out of 10 for Demon 2.
I'll say the effects were really good. The soundtrack, if you're into like 80s synthwave goth rock, you're gonna have a good time.
If you're those 3 people.
Yeah. Makeup really good. Like the kill effects that we do see are actually really good. Even like the puppet demon thing, like it's like I don't even notice it being a puppet like half the time because it just looks good and the lighting is good. There's a lot of cool shots in there. Very convoluted a little bit. Like it's hard. Like nothing really. It's hard to get shit to line up, and don't think about that with this movie. I think I'll give it. Like a Bobby Hughes out of 10.
Yeah, this is a great like if you're a big fan of horror and just like batshit crazy horror movies that just have a bunch of wild things you're not used to seeing, especially in like your standard American horror these days. If you want something a little more off the wall, this is definitely for. I would recommend the first one to a wider variety of people.
Yes.
I think the first one is just an overall better film.
Mm-hmm.
But if you like the first one and you're interested in more, then yeah, for sure go for Demons 2. But if you were gonna watch one, do the first one for sure.
Yes.
you know.
Yes.
But this one is wild with the demon
Mhm.
dog, demon kid, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I would give it. What I gave the last one a 7. I'll go give this one a 6.5. Like it's still
Yeah.
better than most average movies. It has a lot of great effects, fun
Mhm.
stuff, but it's not doesn't make a lot of sense. So
Yeah.
I might even give it a 6, but that's definitely above average, but it would probably get
Mhm.
like a C- on the grading scale. All right, so that's our coverage on Demons 2. Stay tuned. Next time we'll be talking about the movie Stakeland, which I'm very excited to be doing.
Yeah.
As we we are moving further and further from bullshit and more into actual movies. I had a lot more fun this week than I did the past few weeks. All right, so with that being said, guys, stay safe and stay nerdy.